Happy Sunday. Thanks so much for joining. Lynn Sharif here, and this is a Sunday Soul Chat. And I want to talk to you tonight about humility equals intimacy. Humility equals intimacy. A really key component to any marriage is intimacy. And I am not speaking of sex. I'm speaking of intimacy. Into me, you see. So one very clear path to getting the intimacy you want is humility. And let me explain to you what I mean. Very often in marriage, it becomes I win, you lose. It's a point scoring game where, okay, I'm right. I win and you lose. And the thing about it in marriage is that if if one person wins and the other person loses, that means that we both lose. In marriage, it means that it has to be we win or we lose. It is all in on both sides. And so how is it that you can create a scenario where we both win and not lose? And the way that you can do that is to approach things with humility. Humility says that I am willing to show every flaw, frustration, and every flaw and frustration and imperfection that I have. Because if I do that, my hope is that it will unlock it in you to say, I got the same flaw, frustration, and imperfection. Because that's really the reality. The reality is that we're two human beings and we have the same stuff. But we pile other things on it, and it's like we just want to protect ourselves, and we're like, okay, here's a scenario, and I win, you lose. But if we can both come to the table and say that I have flaws, imperfections, I have all the same issues that you do, and then you say that, I say that, and then we extend grace to one another. That's really how it's supposed to be. But then, our egos get involved and it becomes a whole nother thing. But what I'm saying to you is that if you can own up to your flaws, your frustrations, your imperfections, that it can open up a whole nother level in your marriage. And so what I'm saying is that humility is really the key to the intimacy. Humility is the key to the into me you see. Do that, and then you can begin to extend grace to your spouse. And that is going to be the key to getting to a whole nother level of depth in your relationship. Trust me when I tell you, I have tried it and it works. It is painful, but it works. Strip away your pride. Be naked with your spouse. Own up to your flaws, your imperfections, and your frustrations, and you'll get to where you want to be. So that's the short message that I have for you tonight. Humility equals intimacy. So before I sign off tonight, I want to say that if you've tuned into me from week to week, you know that I speak on different issues with regards to marriage. And I really want to speak to married people, but because I have a page, I don't know, and I certainly don't check to see if you're married or not married. I just know who it is that I would really like for my message to resonate. What I say literally before I go live every single week, I say, Lord, please help me to say something to some married couple. And I just want one. Can I help one couple to get through a particular hurdle or to solve a particular problem? I'm only looking for one. But I also recognize that there are people who are not married. Maybe they are in a relationship, they're not married, and they're using those tips. But I don't have control of that. I have no idea who you are, but I just know that I want to speak to a married couple. And with that, I recognize that there are men who may look at it and say, you know what? I think I'm a friend hug. And send a little messenger. So I want to be very clear that I am married to Chef Sharif 20 years. And Chef Sharif is holding it down in every area. I have zero interest in any casual conversation. So I'm just going to save your fingers. So if you're just typing out, save it. Chef Sharif is holding it down in every area. And my message is to married couples. I'm looking for that one married couple that perhaps my 20 years and 2 marriages can help you get through the next hurdle. Anybody else? You can miss me. Save your fingers. So I appreciate you joining. Tonight I talked about humility and intimacy and how you can get to a whole nother level of intimacy in your marriage by owning up to your imperfections, your frustrations, and your flaws. You can get to a whole nother level in your marriage. So I appreciate you joining. And if you're joining me on a replay, let me know that you're joining me on a replay. And also, you can catch any of my past videos by going to YouTube and searching Lynn Sharif. I appreciate you guys. Bye-bye.